Well, as promised, Kathleen Wynne, Premier Kathleen Wynne, joins us now to discuss this budget. 308 pages, $20 billion in new spending over 3 years. Are you buying voters or bribing voters with their own money with this budget?
No, you know what this is about is recognizing that having balanced the budget, which we've done, and we've worked very hard to do that, at the same time as we made investments, because we put OHIP Plus in place, for example, so kids get free prescription medication. But people are saying to us that they need more. They need more in order to be able to care for themselves and their families. So, you know, kids who are looking for mental health supports, seniors who are looking for more care at home, young women particularly young women who can't find childcare, they need to know that we're going to step up and help them with those supports.
But is part of your challenge, though, as well, and what might backfire with this, is that people also want more money in their pockets, and this is ultimately going to cost taxpayers more money. So more money will be leaving their pockets.
Well, in fact, I mean, those supports that I just talked about will actually help people. So seniors who are at home, the $750 tax credit that will help them to look after themselves, that's actually going to put some money into their pockets to help them stay at home. The child care, that's going to save young families thousands of dollars, you know, on average $17,000 per child for child care. So that is about targeting those supports where people have said they need them.
But a lot of people, probably most without young children, but maybe even some with, resent that money. They're worried about that money, that $2 billion expansion for child care and where it's going to come from.
And I understand that, although, you know, we have a publicly funded education system and a publicly funded health care system that we all pay for. We have an agreement among ourselves that that's important. And this child care investment is about making sure that women can get into the workforce. We're never going to close the gender wage gap. We're never going to realize the economic productivity that comes from women in the workforce unless they can find child care. And, you know, we have put in place 100,000 childcare spaces. We're building those. We made that commitment last year. We're building those. But if people can't afford them, then it doesn't matter whether the spaces are there or not. So we're taking that next step that will allow for more economic productivity, because women will be able to get into the workforce if they choose to.
Let's switch to transit in the budget. I know a couple big asks that the City of Toronto has had for a while, particularly Mayor John Tory, is fare integration. Is that what that is with the GO Transit? You get a break if you use with your Presto card, if you do a 10K ride or less.
So we're going to work with the city to figure out exactly what that design will look like. But we've been working with the municipalities on fare integration. I think this is an important step to deal with some of the congestion on the TTC, and I think the mayor has been very receptive to it.
There's no start date, though. What are you thinking?
Well, and that's he has already said today he's going to push us to do it as quickly as possible, and we want to get on that.
And what about the downtown relief line and uploading?
It's in the plan.
It's in the plan, I know, but there's no specific dollar sign beside it, just that we'll continue negotiations.
Yeah, well, we've made a commitment to it, and that was what the city wanted to see. Was they wanted to see that it would be in the plan and that we would work with them to figure out start time. There already is a plan, or there's already a study in place to look at what it will cost, and so we're going to work with the city. They wanted to know that we were making a firm commitment to it, and we have.
Well, last question. Doug Ford calls it, you know, here, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, kind of like Oprah. Andrea Horvath says you're not going far enough. You know, really, your challenge is voters have indicated, at least in polls, that they want to change. Is this enough to change their minds and bring them back to the Liberal?
Well, I don't know. I don't know whether it is, but it is a response to what people have said they need. Doug Ford and I have a very different worldview. You know, we have very different perspectives on the reason for government, and government existing to, and in my mind, existing to do the things that we can't do by ourselves. And so we're responding to people's need for the ability to care for each other and care for themselves, and that's what this budget is about. Doug Ford wants to cut and let people fend for themselves. It's a very different worldview.
Thank you very much for joining us. What is it, 71 days till the election? Are you counting it down on your calendar? All right.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Cynthia.